Hello, guys. Hope y'all are doing well. Well, I want to talk about Engineer. I think this survivor is flawed in a way where the character's kit is fundamentally impossible to balance properly, or at least their mask-on ability is. Now, before I explain why I think the survivor's kit is flawed, I should first explain it. Their kit consists of two abilities, Mask On and Static Mirage. The first ability is Mask On. When activated, the technician equips the VANNI mask, forcing them into first person while also allowing them to see objects they can phase through. Using Mask On disables the use of Static Mirage, but in exchange it unlocks two new abilities, Mask Off and Phase. Mask Off lets the technician remove the mask, returning them back to third person and locking the use of Phase. It also re-enables Static Mirage, and depending on how much duration was left, the cooldown of Mask On can be reduced. The second unlocked move is Phase. This ability allows the technician to dash through highlighted obstacles while the mask is active at the cost of half the mask meter. However, phasing through objects applies slowness to the technician depending on what type of object they phase through. Smaller objects apply a weaker slow for a short duration, while larger walls or stronger shortcuts apply much harsher slowness penalties for longer periods of time. When the mask is not active, the technician instead has access to Static Mirage. This ability deploys a Tesla shield that slows and dazes the killer while they are in range. The field lasts for 20 seconds, though the killer can destroy it with a single hit. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into my issues. Honestly, this class sounds really strong on paper, but in practice it's way more situational than people probably expected. The main issue is the mask itself. A lot of loops on the maps barely have any actual obstacles to phase through, so most of the time you're not even getting much value out of the ability. And even in the situations where the mask is useful, the slowness penalty becomes a huge problem. Sure, you might create some distance at first, but the killer catches back up so quickly that you're basically just delaying the inevitable instead of actually escaping. But then in certain spots, the exact opposite happens and you suddenly get rewarded way too much for using it. Some loops become way stronger than they probably should be, which makes the ability feel really inconsistent balance-wise. Another problem is how dependent the ability is on specific spots. The entire move relies way too heavily on certain loops or map areas to actually be effective, which makes the class feel inconsistent. Sometimes it can look really strong, but most of the time you either don't have a good place to use it, or the downside outweighs the benefit. Now their second ability. It's fine. I think it having a lifespan of 20 seconds is kind of dumb. And it lacks range because you can just M1 it once the killer is in range, which almost completely nullifies the effect it gives. Other than that, it's fine. Thumbs up. With that said, how could we fix this? Firstly, Mask On. Well, this might sound like a hot take, but I think the ability should be reworked. I think Sharky Leo's suggestion is great, where the mask actually changes how you interact with the map, similar to the original game. It would add way more skill expression instead of just teleporting through specific spots, and it would make chases more interactive for both the survivor and killer, as long as it's balanced fairly for both sides. But even if that still doesn't fix the ability, then honestly, I think it should just be removed and replaced entirely. If they want to keep the ability, they should at least color code the obstacles for each tier. This isn't anything major, just some quality of life change. Now, Static Mirage. It's not completely horrible, but I think it would be better if it had permanent placement instead of a 20-second lifespan, while having a placement limit of 1. And if you want to be generous, you could also increase the range of the ability, although I'm not really sure if it even needs that, especially because Bite by Night is very survivor-sided. Also, this isn't anything regarding his kit, but what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Like, I'm sorry, but why are the description always so vague? This has been an issue for every character, not only for engineer. What do you expect from your players when they read this? You can't just leave stuff like that and expect people to understand it. Please go more in depth with these, like how there are tiers to phasing through objects, and each one applies different levels of slowness depending on what you phase through. Please say what they do next time. It's annoying. Now, I want to make this clear. This isn't meant to tear down the developers. I'm just a random person on the internet giving criticism so that the game can improve. Thanks for watching. This video took me some time to make, so I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. You obviously don't have to, but it would really help me out. Don't really have much more to say. Goodbye, and have a great day.